The goal of the meeting now is to talk about the idea of racism and how do we recognize in other people what they are seeing in us when we are in different skins.
It'll be interesting, and I'm sure it'll happen, where I'll be in black and I'll get some attitude from some prick white guy, and I won't have all the history of resentment that a black man has, and I'll be able to with him. Oh, just, mentally spar with him and go, he says, hey, nigga. I won't get angry. I'll just kind of smile to myself and go, wow, why'd you say that?
When I seemed like he was a pretty grounded guy, I thought, I would hang out with Bruno.
I've never experienced racism.
I don't want you to, go away like, that guy just looking for racism. He just walks into a place.
To be honest, I think it's a mixture. Yeah. I think when somebody reacts to you in a certain way, you do kind of look for it, and you never know why they're reacting to you in that way.
Okay, so with that out of the way, we are going to start watching a show called Black.White. If you are familiar, I'm sorry to hear that. If you are not familiar, then let's take a journey back to 2006. A magical time where Ice Cube, the man himself, figured he could end racism in one simple show. Guys, please like, subscribe, comment to this video. This is going to be a wild one, so let's talk about it.
Please don't believe the hype. Everything in the world ain't black and white.
My name is Bruno, and I became a black person.
No one knew that I was actually black when I had my white makeup on.
For 6 weeks, two families, my family and a black family, got together in a house in the Valley in LA, and we decided to swap races.
Would go into makeup and become the opposite race. We became black, they became white. Then we moved in together.
We're talking living together, it's not like, we're gonna see them for a little party, get together, and they go their way and we go our way. No, at night, we all live under the same roof.
The whole experience, it opened my eyes, just made me more aware of my race.
All right, guys, so if you can't tell already, this is a really bad idea. Probably should have never been done, never been thought of. Definitely went through too many lines of production for it to actually have been accomplished. I am very surprised that any network would ever put this on TV, but we're about to see this. So yeah, enjoy. Let's get back to it.
I'm a pioneer in this because this is something that's never been done.
Changing color to see what it would be like.
It was completely transformative. We got jobs, went shopping.
Hey, white man.
We would go out together. He's the honky.
We were undercover. We had hidden cameras. We were sneaking around.
Hello.
We did it all.
Again, it's almost impressive the amount of people that would have had to hear this idea, hear the pitch for it. They all had to be like, okay, that sounds like something we should be doing on national television. And they all just said, yeah. It really blows my mind. It's like, if that could happen, literally anything is possible. So remember, everybody, keep believing in your dreams. If Ice Cube can make this show, you can do whatever you feel like you should accomplish in life.
Please don't believe the hype. Everything in the world ain't black and white. Everybody ain't a stereotype. Just because I look wrong, I'm about to do right. Black as midnight or bright as Snow White. You better do me right or I'ma have to take flight. Put you on nice, blast on you twice. If you a zebra, better come out them stripes. Please don't believe the hype. Everything in the world ain't black and white.
So part of me really hates that I had to do that to you guys. You had to listen to that entire intro song. But another part of me realizes that I had to listen to that whole song multiple times while making this video. And it's only fair that you guys hear it at least once. My favorite part is probably where he rhymes zebra, stripes, things like that. None of it makes sense. It's the dumbest song I ever heard in my life. Probably the worst song Ice Cube ever made. Again, Ice Cube, bro, we need to talk. What were you on when you made this? Nothing about this works. Not even the intro is good. Jeez.
I've been trying to imagine what it's going to look like to see Renee and Nick for the first time white. Wow.
You look like, I look as white as you.
Yeah, look at that.
Why are you laughing at me? I should be laughing at you.
That is too funny, though. Clear out here, we got some business to take care of.
I don't think so. Not my type.
Okay, so that seems like a normal response to seeing your spouse, who you've been with for a while, in a different, pretty much body. Also, I want to take the time out now to let people know that this is Emmy award-winning makeup that they put on these people. They apparently won an Emmy because this makeup was so great. Next, I actually do want to put a small trigger warning just for cringe. If things are a little bit too cringy, I understand if you need to pause the video, but please continue watching. The views really help me, and yeah. So, just small cringe warning for what you're about to see next, because even this made me throw up a little bit in my mouth.
Oh my God, that is so strange. Oh my God, Bruno. It's nice. I love black. I mean, visually and somehow heart-wise, there's a warmth.
Do I even need to say anything? Like, do I have to be that guy that just has to make the comment based off what she just said? I don't want to be that guy, so I'm not even going to say it. You guys already know, and I don't even have to say it, so I'm not going to say it, because you guys already know what I would say if I were to say said thing.
You're beautiful.
Thank you. You look like a really nice man. Oh my God.
God, it's just really beautiful. I just feel like I'm in love with this woman.
It's like between the music and the way that they're editing the scene, I'm sure, it really, it's just like one of the most cringe things I've seen. It's just so ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys. They want me to say the thing, but I'm not going to say it because they're not even black. So it's not like they can, hey, once you go black, you don't go back. Like, no, these are people in blackface, and there's no saying for white people in blackface. So I'm not going to make any saying about white people in blackface.
Okay, so when do we get to see Nick? Because now I'm really curious now.
What?
Wow.
Nick. Wow. You look good. Wow.
You're sexy. Is that what you said? Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at the shoes and everything.
I'm gonna look like Michael Jackson. Oh, your head up?
Lift your head up.
What's your hair? Look at that. Look at yours. My mustache. Look at your teeth. Look at your pimples and everything.
No, dog. He already had that.
Maybe it's just me, but I think while watching the show that the kids have the best makeup. All the adults look like either characters of, like, from Dave Chappelle's show or, just actual people in blackface already. The two kids do have the best makeup, and I appreciate that. That's probably why they won the Emmy for those two. I'm not really even counting the boy. I mean, as good as his makeup looks, if I saw him in real life, I would still think he either had some type of like skin disease or just something was wrong with him, something off. So we'll see what the daughter looks like in just a second, just to kind of like verify all this here.
You're adorable.
I'm sorry. Why is that scary? Like, that's still your father in makeup. Like, nothing changed. His skin is just black. I mean, I'm not sure if the skin being black is just a scary thing. I don't want to just throw that out there, but that is a very strange thing to say when you first see your white parents in blackface, to immediately be afraid to even touch them. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Hi, Rose. You look great. Let me see your hair. It's beautiful.
Yeah?
We look like twins, huh?
Today was like the experimental day. It was
the yay or nay, will this work?
All right, so this is what I mean. I think this works. This is the best blackface makeup I've personally probably ever seen in my life. When you compare it to this actual black woman next to her, they look like they could be sisters. So color me impressed. I don't know. So a big part of the show is that they're gonna, have the people go out and experience the other parts of culture. So they're gonna start off with the black father. He's gonna go off and just pretty much go golfing. It's nothing inherently white about it. It's not like black people can't golf or anything. But he's gonna go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and check out his experience to see how that goes.
I feel very accepted. Is it Tom, your name?
I'm John.
John Brian White.
My first time as a black girl, I went to South Central. Going undercover in the black world is amazing. When I'm in black makeup, I wasn't scared. If anything, I was just I look black. People regarded me as a black girl. It was selling.
Now here comes my part of the show where I always have to make the biggest complaint. Nothing that either people are doing are inherently black or white. This guy went golfing, and then this chick went to South Central. Neither of those things are the experience of any particular race. Those are just places that people go. Honestly, both of those things are just more economic things. People live in South Central because of economic reasons. I mean, we can go into redlining, all those other things. But then people also go golfing because of economic reasons. It's a more expensive sport to play. It requires kind of some expensive tools to even join. So there's just wage gaps to both of these things just on different spectrums. Neither one of those things necessarily have to do with race. It's very dumb.
My expectations of living with a white family, I was just hoping coming in that they were nice, that they were clean.
Pretty much, I have no idea what it's going to be like to live with a black family. I have the sense that I'm heading into something difficult and profound.
He seemed like he was a pretty grounded guy. Thought, I would hang out with Bruno.
The famous last words. Yeah, I would hang out with Bruno. But outside of the jokes I can make here, which are plentiful, because in a moment you will realize how wrong this statement truly is, I just have to take a moment to warn anyone, trigger warning for the next scene, because there will be use of the N-word by a white man. And when I say N-word, I do mean nigga.
The goal of the meeting now is to talk about the idea of racism and how do we recognize in other people what they are seeing in us when we are in different skins.
It'll be interesting, and I'm sure it'll happen, where I'll be in black, and I'll get some attitude from some prick white guy, and I won't have all the history of resentment that a black man has, and I'll be able to with him. Oh, just, mentally spar with them and go, he says, hey, nigga. I won't get angry. I'll just kind of smile to myself and go, wow, why'd you say that?
When I hear the N-word, my jaws clench up. It resonates with me, and I know it's just a word, but, what I had to go through growing up, that word still gets me. It's powerful.
No one's going to just strictly come up, and say, hey, nigger, or anything like that. Because that kind of racism is really not there today. Now it's more, we won't get the positions that we're qualified for, or we won't get the service that everybody else.
Wow. Yeah. And believe it or not, this was in 2006. I'm pretty sure by now people probably are just running around saying, hey, nigger nowadays, but I don't know. I'm not outside that often. Thanks a lot, coronavirus.
What if we're at a gathering, all of us are having dinner together, and there are pretty much equal blacks and whites, and then the whites leave and y'all start jiving? Jiving?
See, that's white. That's very...
All right, so this is the part where I do want to put another warning. What we're about to see is just going to get wild. So the families are going to get split up into two. The black family is going to obviously be in whiteface, and they're going to join a all-white meeting with people talking about their experience of race, while the white family is going to dress up in blackface and speak in a meeting with all black people about their experience with race.
I knew that Brian was behind the two-way mirror, and he had given me some advice on how to be black. He told me to sort of just kick back, don't have great posture, lean to one side, and sort of slouch in the chair.
Now, I'm going to go on a limb here because I really believe that Brian said nothing of the sort. Most likely, he just told Bruno, hey, relax. Like, you don't need to be so tense or something like that. Not like, hey, don't have good posture. Black people aren't like that.
What do you see today as the biggest difference between being black and white in America?
When I think of white people, I think ethnocentric. Very much like my way of seeing things is the best, most correct way. And anything that's different than that, I don't want to get to know.
It's assimilation. It's kind of like as long as we assimilate and do what they do, we're okay. But if we're kind of like off on the side doing our own little thing, you might be a little bit intimidating.
It seems like that's just the way it is. This world is dominated by white people, and I don't think it's any way that we'll ever be considered equal.
There's a lot of controversy about the N-word and who can use it or whether it should be used at all. Who has experienced an intentional attempt to disrespect you by using that term? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, yeah.
Have you had experiences like that?
Yeah, I used to work as a doorman at a disco.
Why? Like, why? Why is he talking right now? Why, of all the questions, did he decide to have a made-up story for the scenario that starts off as it's literally like some type of blaxploitation movie? It's like you could just not even talk during the situation and be perfectly fine. Why?
And if somebody came up intoxicated or didn't have the right dress on, they say, come on, nigga, or a lot more hostile than that. And I just, yeah, that's right, I'm a nigga. It just wouldn't affect me. And that would be the end of the conflict, just like that. Because I wouldn't give it the power. The only reason why people call you derogatory names is so that they can inflame you. If you don't empower the people that call you the N-word by getting upset, you win. And the idiot that just called you that doesn't have any power.
I feel like at that moment, every black person in that room knew that this was actually a white man in blackface. If they had any doubt, if they had any type of like hesitation about it, that was the moment that they were like, yep, this is definitely not a black man.
My name is Brian. I enjoy building computers, things like that. I like fixing things with my hands.
My name is Renee, and my hobbies, swimming, tennis, shopping.
How prevalent is racism still in today's society?
I want to think that everybody is treated equally, and you know what? They're not.
I had an experience where I was managing
a girl who was black, and she had the worst attitude I have ever seen. I wanted to fire her so bad. It had nothing to do with the color of her complexion. Whatever I would have to document to fire her, I'd have to have an even longer list to make sure that we're not sued.
Man, I am so glad Ice Cube ended racism with this show. It's like, imagine if these type of sentiments were still prevalent today in our modern society. That would just be wild, right? That would be like crazy to believe.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, yesterday. There's a black guy behind the counter, and my friend tipped him and said, put a tip in the jar and said, "Thank you, brother." And the guy said, "Watch how you say that."
Only black people can call themselves brother or even the N-word.
I don't look at a black person and say, I want to do harm. But sometimes there's these innate things that I think have been taught that, I shake someone's hand that's black and my instinct is to wipe it or something. I am very conscious of it afterwards and I feel horrible about it, and it takes work to switch that around.
When he said that, I was like, wow.
The guy's just shaking when he was telling us that. You could tell that really bothered him.
I knew that racism was there, and I thought I was prepared for everything, but when I actually donned the white makeup,
I was shocked.
I've seen this countless amount of times, just editing this video and then watching the episode before this, and also watching this in 2006 when it originally came out. This scene will never not be shocking as fucking shit to me. Yeah, it's just a wild thing to even admit on TV. I respect the guy for having the bravery to admit that and not like actually have those feelings. Me personally, I probably would have like kept my mouth shut on that one.
Today I went to the mall and I met Duran and Poetry, who are in charge of a slam poetry class. They knew that I was white, but I was still in black makeup.
Do you know anything about that poetry tip?
No!
Oh, this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well.
We teach poetry workshop. There's so many beautiful poems out there, but they're not performed right. We teach performance and writing skills.
I like to write poetry, and I've never learned how to. I've written it myself.
If you write poetry, we're like, oh, you're in the house.
I'm really excited about taking this poetry class because I want to know what it's like to be black. I want to immerse myself in the culture.
Do you have any poems?
And I guess this is a part, again, where I will mention that this is not a quote-unquote black thing here. This is just poetry. Poetry is just the arts, and the arts are literally for everyone. There are a lot of great black poets out there. There's also a lot of great Spanish poets, and Asian poets, and white poets, Indian poets. That's just arts and poetry. Nothing inherently black about any of this stuff here.
Like in my head?
Or in your head, or do you have
or
any
down that you would have memorized? Only because the first class, at least, right, we're gonna have everybody like read something, or at least, and
so we can see where you are.
What we need to work on.
Wow.
And it's easier if you have it memorized.
I've got an assignment, and I'm downright feeling intimidated.
I've never tried to do slam poetry. It's scary for me to know that I've got so much potential to fail.
Anything that'll like speak about you or something that you can memorize.
Well, I can always do one tonight and just work on it.
It'll have to be memorized.
Yeah.
And written.
Going to a poetry thing, and I don't have anything memorized yet, and I would have liked to. That's not so good if I needed to write a poem and memorize it. I really love words. I do. And like, to me, you can never have enough adjectives.
Okay.
I don't know how to face this. I'm standing in the mirror faceless. My mom is at my shoulder telling me to escape this. There's so many far before me with war-like stories of prison and death. I'll take a deep ass breath.
What is this that torments my existence, that removes the joy in every single instance? Am I doomed to succumb to this depression?
Who got the idea that I was ready for this?
I think you had the idea that you were ready for this when you said that you'd definitely be able to memorize one overnight. This is going to be another trigger warning for the amount of cringe that we're about to see in this. Before we get to the really cringe moment, I do want to take a second to highlight some of these artists that performed in this here. Young black artists, I think they all did a really amazing job here. So let's take a listen to some of the things that they're about to do here.
I'm always down for my black people, though sometimes they be acting so evil. Unbelievable how my patience remains. Though at times I feel an alien blood runs through these veins, and this thought sustains. The alien is me.
These people rock, and they're speaking about being black from their heart of hearts. And I'm hoping to God that this sounds black.
Okay. Thank you. Many words, my life, the so simple complexities of a human psyche, to even relish in my thoughts of romantic stride, my skin to his, my touch returned, a mutual undulation of want and reciprocal acceptability and performance, a ritual so profound, the taste of sex, the body, flush with hot and sticky fantastic, a basket of unbroken fruit, a dripping bouquet of red, ripe woman, the pulp of the soul spread lavishly over the human chemistry, when discovery and pleasure were encouraged. Thank you.
Now, that had a lot of big words in it, but I will say that was not much of a experience, whether being black or white. I think that was more just like a teenager kind of being horned up and writing about it. I think that wouldn't have anything to do with any black or white experience.
Oh my goodness, check it out.
Oh my God.
Wow, amazing.
I'm gonna be white today, so I wanna go and do something only white kids do.
Today I'm going to etiquette class with Nick to see how well he blends in with white kids.
Nice to meet you, Claudia.
Again, I'm not going to do this every time, but they clearly have no clue what like white people do or anything, because now they're just taking him to a etiquette class. I've known a lot of white people in my life, and I don't think I've known a single one who actually had an etiquette class. The only people I do know who have taken etiquette classes, ironically, are black. So this is just like another one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Basically, it teaches how to eat at fancy restaurants and how to greet people and be polite.
I want to see you pretend to eat your soup. Pretend you're really eating. Pretend you're really eating. Okay, you eat from the inside to the outside. Yeah. Remember, when your mom used to feed you, it was like this?
Yes.
Okay, you guys are grown-ups now.
Yeah, this is like the dumbest thing I've ever seen ever. Just the way she had the spoon in the bowl seemed pretty dumb to me. Again, I've never had an etiquette class myself, so I just may be talking out of my ass here, but that whole sequence just seemed very unnecessary. They could have found literally anything else for him to do.
Okay, I'm about to watch you. He must be a real regular, right? Then I got into some conversation with a guy. There you go. It was so easy because they thought I was so white up in there. I just asked him a simple question. What is the neighborhood like?
Yeah, this is pretty much a white area, so you won't have any problems.
Oh, okay. Fit right in.
I grew up in this neighborhood, and this is one of the last somewhat unaffected bastions of middle-class Caucasian America inside Los Angeles.
Nice quiet community.
Most of the cities around this area have changed significantly. This is the one that's almost like it's been insulated for some reason.
Wow. I kind of got that feel when I came through this neighborhood.
And the neighbors want it to stay that way.
Exactly.
They don't want a lot of change. They don't want a lot of building. They don't want a lot of immigration because they've seen what's happened in the peripheral communities. And it's taken the quality of life down.
Now, again, I could go into a discussion on redlining or why certain neighborhoods like consistently stay almost like perpetually bad neighborhoods, lack of opportunities, all that jazz. But again, Ice Cube already ended racism. These type of thoughts obviously aren't still prevalent in our modern society. So I won't even go into it because you know what? I'm sure that's all over by now.
He just went on and on. This is the last little white community. We want to keep it like this. In other words, this will be the place for you to move and bring your white family if you want to have your kids raised in a good neighborhood.
This area up here has somehow remained untouched. So
that's interesting.
So if you're looking for a safe place to raise your kids, you can't do better than this, I think.
I think if I was in there black, of course I wouldn't get that kind of information. But because he thought I was white, he had that comfort zone. He spilled his guts. I was really blown away for him to say all that to me. It was tough. I know there is some people like that, but you want to think of this as a much better place.
So that was the end of the first episode. There are about 6 episodes or so of this show, so I'll definitely make more videos soon about the other episodes because they have a lot of entertaining parts to them. This show is very cringe, but part of me kind of loves it. I do want to thank anyone who's watched this long. I want to thank any of my subscribers. I have 30 of you guys now, so that's 30 reasons to be excited about making more videos, and hopefully more in the future. So please like, subscribe, comment, all that fancy YouTube stuff here. And I just want to say thank you guys. I truly appreciate anyone who listens this far in. To some of my nonsense here. You guys really are helping me out, and it's just honestly almost nothing I can say to really thank you. So again, I appreciate it, and bye. Sometimes in dark moments, all we really need is like one good friend to be out there. So if you feel like you've seen somebody in a dark moment, just reach out. You may save a life. You never know.
There's no harm in saying what you need. in saying what you want. There's no harm in saying what you choose, 'cause you've got to be who